Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Law Committee meeting of the Albany County Legislature for October 27th, 2021. How's everybody doing? Nods. Okay, nods, smiles. I'll take it. That's fine. All right. Has anyone had a chance to review? Oh, wait. Majority Council, would you mind taking roll, please?
Sure, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Platsky?
Present.
Ms. Cunningham is excused this evening. Mr. Bergdorf is excused this evening. Mr. Feeney?
Here.
Boone?
Here.
Mr. Cook? Mayo?
Here.
Peter?
Here.
Ricard?
Present.
And Waylon? I see her window open.
Oh, I do see.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. 7 present, Madam Chairwoman.
Great. Thanks very much. Have you had a chance to review the minutes?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Peter.
review the minutes. Would like to make a motion to move those and approve those minutes.
Great. Thank you. A second by Mr. Ricard. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Thank you. I'd like to jump right ahead to item 11. We have Karen Ziegler here to talk about authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding sexual assault crisis and prevention services. Ms. Ziegler, are you live?
Yeah. Good evening. Thank you so much, Madam Chairwoman. Thank you so much, members of the legislature. I appreciate your time. We have been awarded the grant again this year. This is the second of 2 optional years on this grant. This allows us to do prevention work in schools, particularly. We think that it's so important to work with young people early on around bullying, dating violence, prevention of all kinds of things, so that hopefully we never actually get to the point where there's sexual violence or domestic violence. So this allows us to work with schools and community agencies. It provides the money for the hotline, provides staffing, salary. So we're just grateful to get the money and hope that you want to continue to support us in doing the work.
Thank you. Are there any questions from Ms. Ziegler? No. Is there a motion?
Motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. And a second?
Second.
Mr. Feeney? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Ziegler, again for coming before us and explaining
Thank
things.
you so much. Have a lovely evening.
Thanks, you too. Take care. Okay. Items 2 and 3 are tabled at the request of sponsor. Item 5 on the Tourist Improvement District also tabled at the request of sponsor. I'm skipping over 4 for the time being. Item 6, Local Law H. Hold on. Having mouse issues. Working 2 screens. Okay. Local law, the County of Albany, New York, relating to the safe use of electric scooters and bicycles with electric assist. Mr. Demolowitz, are you available?
I'm here.
Great. Would you like to say a few words on this?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. This local law is just a continuation of actually a local law I passed a few years back within County Executive McCoy, Legislator McCoy. But now with these scooters and bicycles now become electronically, and the bicycles themselves can go up as high as 35, 40 miles an hour. And I have a letter that everyone was given from the Brain Injury Association of New York State, a memorandum of support that most people that do get into injuries go into hospitals. Last year, more than 40,000 broken bones and heads and wounds were reported from this. 5% of the riders that they did in a study weren't wearing a helmet. So that's why one third of patients having head injuries, and that's more than double the rate of the experience with bicycles. This did come out of mass transit. It was unanimous. Moving forward with it in Law Committee, I hope we have your support. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Certainly. Is that questions? Mr. Ricard?
No questions, but if there's no further questions, I'd like to make a motion.
I'd like to
Are
second
there
that
any
motion, Madam Chair.
further questions or any questions?
Are we moving it favorably?
That would be the motion.
Yes,
Okay.
that would be the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Great, passes unanimously. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, committee.
Okay. Moving on to item 7, local law I for the County of Albany, amending local law 1 for 2013, an omnibus human rights law for Albany County. And Ms. Chapman, I believe you're here to speak on this one.
Yes, hi. Good
Hang on.
evening, Madam Chair. Howard, I just wanted to mention about this local law I, the Crown Law. All I'm asking for is the county would be able to support this amendment. We're asking for that the hairstyles that are being worn by ethnic groups, as such as hair braiding, locks, and dreads, will be able to, be supported there with employers for Albany County. But now the only thing is that what I'm asking about is that the turbans, there's head wraps and turbans to be worn also, because there seems to be some problems that has arisen where employees have been known to be sent home if they don't have religious belief, they cannot wear those head wraps and turbans. So we're just asking if we can have this amendment added to this local law I. And if there's any questions, I believe council is there this evening.
Yes, Majority Council, what are your thoughts on amending this after, we already had the public hearing on this last night, right?
We did, and actually the language that Ms. Chapman is referring to was already included before it went to.
Oh, great.
So this would prevent employment discrimination based on natural hair texture, including the use of protective hairstyles or wearing it loose, as well as the use of turban wraps, as Ms. Chapman referenced.
Okay. Are there questions for Ms. Chapman? Yes, Mr. Peter.
No questions, but I just want to thank Ms. Chapman for bringing this up. That specifically, as we discussed previously, both at the public hearing and before that, this does not stop any, things with hygienic rules or things like that, which was brought up previously, that this is specifically where that does not come up. So it shouldn't be an issue. I would like to be added as a sponsor if I'm not, Rebecca. And if there are no questions, I'd like to make a motion to move this.
Are there questions for Ms. Chapman? Oh, nice kitty. All right, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ricard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you, Ms. Chapman. Glad to
Thank you
have
so much.
forward.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the committee. Thank you.
On to local law J, which is Bill Reinhardt's power purchase agreement. Is Bill on this evening?
He's not on. If you could come back to him after our,
Yeah, we'll come back.
And ma'am, I can also speak on that, and I think I defer to counsel on procedure, but there are a few sponsors listed, so I don't know if it makes sense to have me speak on it. And
Rebecca, am I a co-sponsor on that?
You are, but you're not the listed prime sponsor. Only Mr. Reinhardt is, so only Mr. Reinhardt could move it forward, unfortunately. I do have a text out to him, so hopefully I will hear back from him very shortly.
Okay. Local law, item 9 for local law K is tabled at request of sponsor. And that brings us back to item number 4. I lost my cursor. Here we go. Just want to get the title right. Local law L for the County of Albany, New York, ensuring universal access to counsel during eviction proceedings in housing courts in Albany County. Is Mr. Fine available?
I don't see him on this evening, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay. Are we going to then table this? I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, since he's not here, it would be the same situation as in for local law J, Mr. Reinhardt. If they don't appear and they are the prime sponsor, we cannot move forward. It would automatically be tabled.
Okay. Well, I think we're tabling item 4 and item 10 in that case.
I just tried to reach out to Mr. Reinhardt and it went right to voicemail.
Okay.
Chairwoman, I'd like to make a motion to table both.
Aren't they automatically tabled since the sponsors aren't here? So there's no need for the committee to take action, Madam Chair?
That is correct. Sorry.
Okay.
If I could just, the local law does have some time sensitivity to it regarding the item 10. So I guess I'm hearing there's no way to move it, but.
No, but. I'm sorry.
Item 10 on the eviction proceedings?
Oh, I'm sorry, on the
Power.
solar. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Feeney, your hand is raised.
Well, we could do a post-public forum, you
Right.
know, for the next meeting to try to move it with Mr. Reinhardt. So why don't we
Okay.
try to do that?
Okay. Can we discuss it at all, or we just can't bring it up and we go forward? Majority council.
Well, it's up to you if you would like to allow discussion on the matter. Currently, it just can't move forward or move out.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Rogers, did you want to make any points about this while we've got you?
I'm here to answer any questions. Obviously there were no comments last night during the public meeting on this. This is a procedural step that is necessary given the nature of the power purchase agreement being a long-term agreement. There are some county policies that typically limit agreements to 5 or 10 years. And so this is similar to what was done with the Shaker Society lease, and at the time the Ann Lee home, to allow for that longer term agreement. And yeah, again, happy to understand the procedures, happy to answer any questions or handle it at the post public forum.
Okay. Any questions at this time for Mr. Rogers?
Not a question for Mr. Rogers, but just can't we suspend our rules, or I mean, we need Mr. Reinhardt here. Just he has to be at the meeting for us to vote on this, and that isn't a rule that's subject to just override by a majority of this committee. I find that hard to believe.
Unfortunately, no. There was a resolution on it, and Brandon, if you remember the number, we can certainly. I feel like it's 301, but I don't recall which year. That's more Brandon's wheelhouse.
It was a resolution. I believe it was 2016. The resolution, obviously, this is a provision of the rules. If the full body in the future wants to reconsider or make amendments, that's always the option. The provision.
Madam Chairwoman, I have Mr. Reinhardt on speaker. I'm going to have to get him in here. Can you all hear me? I'm sorry.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
I believe he's on speakerphone. Mr. Reinhardt, you obviously can't see them. I believe that they'd like to move it, but you can say whatever you have to say about it.
Just that it's going to be a kind of a standard power purchase agreement. I think we've already talked about the siting issues in the Conservation Committee. There are not a lot of details yet because NIPA hasn't finished their assessment. You know, that'll come later. That's pretty much all I have to say at this point.
Okay. Are there questions for Mr. Reinhardt? Mr. Feeney?
I'll move it.
Second.
Thank you. Second by Mr. Peter. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Reinhardt. Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Rogers.
everybody. It wasn't trying to be difficult.
No.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
We don't believe that,
Oh.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, well, I do have a reputation.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Ricard?
just a quick question. Did you want to discuss the item number 4 from Mr. Fine? Because I had a couple questions on that too.
I don't know that we can without him
Without him
here.
here.
So
I
it's
mean, we
table,
could talk about it
discuss it at
amongst
all?
ourselves, but
We can't discuss it at all? Is that the rules?
table.
It's already been tabled, so
Tabled.
at this point,
I
believe
didn't think we officially tabled anything. Because Mr.
No,
Reinhardt,
Absent the sponsor.
Absent the sponsor, we can't discuss it.
we
automatically
can't
tabled.
discuss it all?
Yes.
So,
Okay, that's fine, whatever.
You can follow up with me. We can work together to get answers to your questions if needed.
Okay, thank you.
okay. Thank you, everybody. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Yes, Mr. Peter, and a second.
I'll
second.
second.
Thank you, Mr. Feeney. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Have a good
Aye.
evening, everybody. Any
You
opposed?
too.